Yeah, Big Keish, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, we breathing another day. We already winners.
That's right, Big
Come on.
Keish. You know, there's been a lot going on in the pro wrestling world, as always, and since the last time I last saw you.
Yeah.
But what's currently trending right now is a wrestler by the name of...
Of course you would know this.
Of course. I do my homework. I'm a student of the Gizame. You know what I mean?
The people's voice.
That's right. Thank you. Right now, currently trending is a wrestler by the name of Karrion Kross, a.k.a. Killer Kross. Now, before I even get into him, are you familiar with Karrion Kross?
Yeah, I think I met him before. He came, I think that we were doing stunt doubles or something like that at the old domain down the street in Sun Valley. And this was, I believe it was for Terry Crews.
Okay.
One of
for
his
the
movies.
Sandy Drexler.
I think it was.
Yeah.
They had a couple wrestlers that came in there, and I think that's when I met him. Nice guy.
So, what the fuzz and the scuttlebutt is around the pro wrestling business right now?
Scuttlebutt against scuttlebutt.
Is because Karrion Kross he's got a lot of hype behind him and well deserved in 2025. Somebody who necessarily was quote unquote pushed to the side, didn't really have the big matches, and then the fans spoke up and they got him they brought him to the forefront, but his contract ended. And WWE did not renew his contract. Him and his beautiful valet, Scarlett, their contract was not renewed, so it's he's out of a job right now. But this is my big question to you, Keish.
Welcome to wrestling.
Yes, sir. My question to you is, because we were had with Seth Rollins, with his knee injury.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are asking if this is a work or if it's a shoot. So my question to you, Big Keish, is: do you think his contract not being renewed, they're confiscating his signs at the events? Do you think that's WWE kind of like leaning into the angle, or do you think it's a real shoot? They're not gonna renew his contract and he's out of a job.
Well, thank you to Seth Rollins for setting it up or setting it off, right?
Right.
Because now everybody, who knows? But at the end of the day, I mean, it's nice to have the fans wondering.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel, that Cat Kross, he's a good worker. I don't know how he is backstage. Is he political? Is he, does he play ball, or does he stay in his lane, or he trying to create his own lane? So I don't know. But yeah, if in case it is, man, I wouldn't think that they would go that route, because we just did it with, they just did it with Seth Rollins.
Right.
So who knows? I don't know. Hopefully that, they can work things out. They're able to, re-sign this cat. I'm a fan of his. For me, I don't know people personally, but when I watch the new talent on TV, all I'm looking at is just, the product, how this guy here is able to work. Can he be a plus to the company? And that's how I feel about Kevin Kross.
He came with the group.
Karrion Kross.
Yes, I like that name, by the way. And also he had the group, The Final Testament. So he's been around. He's been doing his thing. And what I'm a fan about Big Keish.
How long has he been there?
He's been there for a few years. He left and went to MLW, and then he came back. It was like in 2022 he left, and he came back. So he's been in WWE for, I'd say, close to like 7-10 years now. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong.
Life of a wrestler.
But what I am a fan of, Big Keish, you're saying you're a fan of Karrion Kross, and I am too. I'm a fan of a wrestler who makes enough noise on their own. Let's just say, because there's a gazillion talent on the roster, spots are limited. So,
of course.
To be able to make enough noise on the outside, and then the company can't but help to put you on the forefront. I'm fans of people like fans of people like Zack Ryder, woo, woo, woo. And of course, Matt Hardy, with the whole delete thing,
Woo, woo.
Sorry.
You look like you were practicing that. Woo, woo, what the hell?
I'm sorry. I'm a Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder guy. But you know what?
Well, big shout out to Matt.
Right. My question to you, Big Keish, is because the scuttlebutt is WWE aren't really fans of people who create their gimmicks on the outside. They want to create the gimmick. Like, for example, when the NWO came over, Scott Hall mentioned that it's not going to be pushed because it's not Vince's creation. Now, you've been there. You know the deal.
Yeah, well, I think it's a new era now, though, Joey. You know what I mean? The loudest voice that's out there is the WWE Universe. I don't care what talent, that you are, that the office might see fit. That's not the guy or that's not the girl. But at the end of the day, it's what's going to sell tickets. What is going to make the fans come to these arenas, especially now that the tickets are where they're at right now. We really need to kind of put our feelings aside or our creative minds aside. We don't know why the WWE universe is going with this guy or this lady. And, we need to find something to write something to put this guy back in or whatever the case it may be. So at the end of the day, man, I think it's a new era. You know what I mean? I feel like, whatever the case that is happening personally to this guy here, hopefully that they can work it out. Because obviously he's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Obviously, I catch it sometimes on social media where, they're talking about his signs and this and that. So I kind of dug in. And that's how I remember this cat here that came to be an extra for the movie here at Knox Pro back in the day. So,
wow.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, hey, this is the business of professional wrestling. This is what we go through. It's called negotiations. So you got to kind of negotiate the right way. And, sometimes you might want to take less money just to get in there to prove to them that I'm worth this money that I'm asking for. So, we'll see. I'm sure the people that, in the WWE understands the talent. I don't know about the TKO. I don't know about UFC, even if they have anything to do with these type of meetings. Hopefully not, because, how can they understand a business that, WWE's been standing on well over 100 years, So if anybody knows the boys, it's the WWE.
Now, you mentioned it's a new era. I wanted to talk to you about, because he's got a beautiful valet, Scarlett. Now, you mentioned it's a new era. Let me ask you this, Big Keish. Why do you think we don't see valets as much?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask the booker that. You know what I mean? I feel like, once again, they highlighting the, giving opportunities to the females in the wrestling ring. There has to be a valet out there that's just as good as Bobby Heenan, maybe. But we're not giving them, the right opportunity to be able to showcase their skills, or maybe some of the divas there find out that that's not the route they want to go, because one, they're probably not paying enough. Two, that's not what they want, what they intend to be. But sometimes when you get there, they're just gonna put you in where you fit in. And at the end of the day, it's like, listen, always remember where you came from. When you was on an independent circuit, the one thing, you wasn't getting paid. You didn't get paid to make a living. Number two is that you wasn't getting a weekly paycheck. So think about it. Whether you want to go that route or this route when you get into WWE, I think just be happy that they signed you up and they're giving you an opportunity. You got to be patient, because during the times the writers are there, man, these writers, they get hired, they get fired in a matter of months or 2 weeks, whatever the case it may be. It only takes one writer to come through and see some potential in you. And so I think at that time there, when it does happen, that's those that are, stay ready to be ready, right? Once they get that opportunity, they'll know how to adapt and take that to the next level. And the valet can be a great bump taker, a great, spot taker, whatever the case may be. Right off the bat, maybe we can put her as in a match with who and who.
Right.
And that's how easy it is.
That happened with Sable. Sable started out as a valet, and then she ended up going to WrestleMania against Luna and had a hell of a match.
Yeah. You'd probably have to give all credit to Luna.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Sable, she drew a crowd in her own way, but you needed a OG, the smarts of a wrestler like, Luna, wrestler soul, to be able to lead that. You know what I mean? So, everything's timing.
Yes, sir.
Everything is timing, from that to this, to be able to put the right, mesh the right team together, the right talent, to be able to get the most putting asses in seats.
So I'm an 80s baby. I'm a fan of all the valets from the 80s. We're talking...
What we got here, Joey?
It's the Drink Master. Yo,
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the return
Of the Drink Master.
Holy moly.
All right.
Wow.
Hello, gentlemen.
Check this is out.
Wow.
That's a hefty, that's a Kishi-sized drink right there. Holy moly.
It's like 20 pounds.
Manuia.
Hot. That's the
doggy.
That's the main event from the Drink
Wow.
Master.
Wow. Thank you, Drink Master.
We miss you, Drink.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
Thank you.
So I forgot what I was saying, but I know what I was saying. I was talking about that. Yeah, right?
Have another drink, you'll remember.
In the 80s, fans like myself, fans like myself in the 80s, we were spoiled with valets. We had Elizabeth, we had Sensational Sherry, we had Precious, we had Woman. Who would you consider the greatest women valet of all time?
I would have to say Sherry Martel.
Yes. Oh, hell yeah. Scary Sherry.
I would have to say she can do it all.
The bumps, the promos. Yeah. And she was beautiful, too.
And she just was, she can dish out the pain, too, working with some of the guys. Like, Sherry was smart all the way around. Inside the ring, outside the ring, you know what I mean? She was definitely a professional, definitely one of those that a lot of the females today can really learn from and kind of watch her films and so forth. But she was always exciting. She get it. She got it. She get it, right? And that's how her career was so long there, because she knew what she was worth. She knew what she can deliver. Anytime the opportunity that was given to her in an important role, she knocked it out the park and did it with a smile. And everybody, here's a beautiful thing. Everybody loved Sherry Martel. She was just a good person. Even though she was at that status, she didn't shit on a lot of people that's coming up. She took time just to talk to those that are coming up in the business. I've seen that firsthand, and she was just a humble, good person. Unlike what you see there on TV, the vicious, mean, Sherry Martel. In the back, she was just a sweetheart. Mama to a lot of people back there.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah. I see that. She's definitely my favorite there in Valet.
Any personal memories with Sherry?
Well, knocking down a couple bottles of Jack back in the day.
Wow.
It was just a lot of fun riding times with her. She wasn't like, all the time we travel on the road. It was one of those times when, either I or her needed to ride. And you know what I mean? You open up to your teammate and so forth. But, I miss her. She was just a beautiful person. I don't have a bad story or anything remember about this icon. You know what I mean? And we need a lot of that today.
Yes, sir. So if you were to have a female valet, because we know you came out as a Sultan with the Sheiky baby, the Iron Sheik. But if you could have a female valet from anywhere, because I know you always talk about Miss Texas, Jackie, you always talk about Jazz. If you could have a female valet, which female valet would that have been?
My goodness, I'd want a tough one. I'd have to go with Nia Jax.
Ooh, okay.
Nia Jax it's hard to top that. It has to be, because I know my people. I know Tamina Snuka.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can go either way. We can shoot or we can work. I'd recommend they work with them because, females like that, they already built their reputation. Good people behind the scene, but also tough. Don't take no shit. You know what I mean? And good for them. Because that's exactly who we are. We always stand on business, Know your worth, right?
Yes, sir.
But we're not assholes or anything, and they're not. It's just the way that, you're brought up in our culture and so forth. But we're not one of those that you can just run over.
Yes, sir. Speaking of icons, I want to talk to you a little bit about the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, who didn't have a seat.
Your favorite wrestler.
He is my favorite wrestler.
Of course you do that.
Of course.
We'd have a subject about Bret.
Of course. And I'm a little...
It's all good, though.
I'm a little perturbed at this news coming out right here, Big Keish, because apparently Bret Hart... the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. He was invited to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And so he makes the trip. He gets down to SummerSlam, and they didn't have a seat for him. So there was no seat for the excellence of execution. I mean, like,
but where is this resource coming? Is that what it's...
That's from the horse's mouth. That's from Bret Hart himself.
Oh, okay. Well, then it really happened then.
Yes, sir. And I'm wondering, like, you couldn't stick him in like row F, J5 or something like that up in the nosebleeds. You couldn't find nowhere for the Hitman.
Hell, the Hitman should have had his own seat.
He should have had like one of those VIP sky boxes. Should have had a sky box or something like that. He should have had
whatever he wanted.
Yes, sir. So my question to you, Big Keisha, is if the WWE invites you to SummerSlam and then at the end of the day they don't have a seat for you, what do you do in that situation?
Hell, I just open the back door, let 200 Samoans come through with our own beach chairs, and we just post up whatever the fuck we want to post up. That's what I do. You already know that, Joey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That happened before the Cow Palace.
You would adapt. You would adapt. You would adapt.
We just adapt, right, Frankie B? You already know. Come on now, you know my people's man.
So hopefully for the next time, the next big event, the WWE gets their stuff together.
I'm sorry that happened to Bret. Wow, that really came from Bret.
That came from Bret, yes. And then to make matters worse, he goes, I see Kevin Nash over there. He's got a seat. And so they had a seat for Big Kev, but they didn't have a seat for Bret Hart, which, man, he's had a rough go. He's had a rough go. You think they'd kind of make some room for him, but that's from the horse's mouth. So it's not like it's from a dirt sheet or nothing. So my question to you was if that happened to you, but of course we know that you would adapt and you would invite all your closest...
Well, next time, Bret, just tell Natalia to open up the back door.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm assuming, the contacts, it should be, a contact for Bret in the office.
Yeah.
Right? Like somebody that could take care of him.
A handler or something. What happened?
Yeah. I mean, you can't disrespect an icon like Bret Hart like that.
Not at all.
Come on.
Not at all.
Hall of Famer? Come on.
Yikes. Especially if I'm sure.
I bet you that broke your heart, right?
It did. That's why.
What would you have done if you was there? Like if Bret didn't have a seat, what would you have done?
I would have gave up my seat. Here, sir. Here, sir. You got it right here.
You
right here.
You ain't gonna give up that $1,500 seat.
I would. If I saw Bret Hart did not have a seat, I would absolutely give up my seat. That's just the way we trained. You know that one time when we saw Jacob putting the wheelchair in for Terry Funk or whatnot? Like, I would absolutely... Was it Lex Luger? I thought it was Terry Funk. You're right. Good call. Yeah, good call. I forgot. Yes,
have another drink.
You're right. It wasn't Terry Funk. It was Lex Luger. Yeah.
Terry Funk was not in a wheelchair.
You're right. You're right. That is the way we're trained at Knox Pro. Yeah. And not only that, it's just common sense.
It's just free to be kind.
Yes, sir. If I were to see an OG,
respect your elders.
But absolutely 100%, I'd give up my seat if I saw the OG.
Well, good for you,
Joey. Of course,
you are a nice guy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you
sir.
You're a nice guy. Yeah, especially you love Bret, like.
Absolutely. 100%. Here's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. Your nephew, Jacob Fatu, was on the Breakfast Club. Now, this is not just any other appearance. This is a huge platform, the Breakfast Club.
Big fan.
Yes, sir. You're right.
Shout out to Breakfast Club.
Right. Charlemagne the God on there. That's right.
The whole crew. I'm a fan of the whole crew.
Yeah. I was just very, very happy to see Jacob out there. He's hitting all these different platforms. And I'm going to call it right here on the Off the Top podcast. Pretty soon, you're going to see Jacob Fatu on the big screen eventually, because that's what happens. Isn't that the route? When you're a big star in WWE, movies, magazine covers, all that's just part of the game, right?
Well, Jacob, I mean, there's only one Jacob. Like, what you see a Jacob that's on TV, like, when you really know Jacob like we know Jacob, man, everything that's happened to this kid, we've always said, like, he's just talented all the way around. And, I most definitely, I see Jacob in a Marvel movie.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Remember that Wolverine or something like that? Ow! I think, I know Jacob will be able to adapt to anything in Hollywood. And you know what? All the opportunities that, Jacob is getting, my nephew's getting now moving forward, it's definitely a blessing, man.
Yeah, and he's earned it.
He's so earned it. He's been out in the independent circuit for a while, got his, perfect his skills. That's how you become good worker like that. When you see Jacob, man, he understands psychology. He understands how to move. He understands, the engaging with the fans and, all that. But most of all, he now understands the business part, that the indie circuit is nowhere near like professional wrestling up in the locker room of WWE. So, big shout out to Jacob, and I can only pray that he continue to stay focused, stay out of trouble, enjoy the journey, because damn it, son, you damn sure earned it. And just, make all the bag in the world.
Yes,
All
sir.
the bag in the world. It's your time.
What's pretty telling is like Cody Rhodes hasn't been on the Breakfast Club. The Miz hasn't been on the Breakfast Club. It's because Jacob speaks the language of the people, and that's why he's on the Breakfast Club, because that is a huge platform in hip hop.
Just to remind everybody, we come from the ghetto up in the Bay Area, the Yay area. You already know that.
Yes, sir.
Sacktown, all the way there to to Sunnydale. The swamps, Fillmore. I mean, it goes on. You know what I mean? Up there all the way down San Mateo, Palo Alto, San Jose. You know what I mean? San Francisco is like a huge city, but in them pockets, that's where the kids used to hang out at. You know what I mean? We had nothing else. And to be able to survive that lifestyle and be able to, see where Jacob is at now, man, it's just a beautiful thing, man.
Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful thing.
So, do you see Jacob becoming a world champion in his future?
By all means, drop bombs on that. 100% in due time.
That's huge.
100%.
Absolutely. Big shout out to the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Yes, sir. Keep doing you, son.
Big Keish, there's other news out there right now. Nikki Bella, one of the Bella twins, is making news right about now. She took a picture with a fan, and they're calling it the prom pose. So that's basically Nikki Bella facing this way, right? And then homeboy around the waist, behind her back, facing the same way, both looking at the camera. They're calling it the prom pose. Now, it's getting a lot of flack because they're thinking the guy was being creepy, but...
but who is this guy?
He's a fan. He's just a fan. He's just a fan. But he had consent, and apparently, according to Nikki Bella, he was such a gentleman, so they took the pose. My question to you, Big Keish, is, because you do a lot of signings. You do a lot of signings. What is the craziest pose a fan has ever asked you to take? Has anybody ever asked you to stink face them?
You 100%. 100%. And guess what? I sold it too. First time, and I think it was $300. You better make it. Say you can't touch the buttocks. You can put your face up against it, but you are not allowed to touch this property. You know what I mean? And so, man. Hey, money ain't. I don't discriminate off of money, my man.
So,
you know what I mean?
So to be.
I did it one time. One time at LAX Fan Fest here in. I believe you was there.
No.
We actually went to go see.
I wasn't there.
We went to go see Taker. That's right. I just got through with the signing. And I believe it was one of his fans.
The dead man.
So that was after, man. I said, man, let me test this out. I mean, I was blown away. I don't think I've ever sold anything for $300, man. And the dude, came back, got it printed that day. Came to me, I said, listen, man, I'm just going to sign this thing here for free for you. I think I gave him an extra T-shirt and stuff like that because it was like, and, my wheels started turning. I said, I might have to bring this damn, can you imagine I bring the thong back in conventions? And have people,
God.
It'll be like a menu. Like you can lean up against the booty, right? Turn your head sideways. You can take a picture. That'll be $300. For one hand on the booty, that'll be $400. For both hands on the booty, you every bit like $500, $550.
Oh my God! Oh wow! So the fan went and already got it printed and came back for you to autograph it. Where did he get this printed at? He left the convention, went to a Kinko's, or what happened?
No, he got it there where once the talent comes there, they have these green screen. They take the photo. Then they go to the next room, and there's a printing machine there. So it's pretty good system that LAX Fan Fest has. So they do that. But so this guy here, before it was done, man, he took off. He told him, before I even walked out, he already had that picture printed, man.
Wow.
So he came to me and signed it up, and, hey, it was a good day.
Wow.
He was a happy camper, and all was good, man. I had my mind rolling, like, because, we do all these Comic-Cons and all these signings, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to double back and see, okay, what's different that I can come to be able to promote for the fans, right?
Right.
Because after a while, 8x10s, so forth. But, at the end of the day, it's like, I always like to try to give the fans a new experience. But, I had to put that one on hold after that. I don't see about, coming back with the thongs and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
You never say never, though.
Yes, sir. What besides the stink face? What is another like pose that your fans request of you? Whether it be a wrestling hold or you choking them, or is there anything else besides the stink face that fans request?
Well, pretty much sometimes they like chokeholds.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have you hold their throat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some fans are really grabbing. It's like really hold me tight. Hold me tight. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. I want it to look real. I said, oh, it's going to look real. You just let me do me. You do you. You know what I mean? Hurry up. You're holding up my damn line. Get on out of here after that. You know what I mean? Don't let go. We got to make it look real.
Big Keish, speaking of real, I want to talk to you about WWE Unreal, which is a very, very popular show right now on Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen it already, go on Netflix and check out WWE Unreal. It gives you an inside look at what it really is to be a wrestler in the biggest company right now. And it's hectic. It's chaotic. It's crazy. Your thoughts on WWE Unreal?
I think it's great. You know, it's good, like, to be able to, drop the curtains on the life of the superstars, from the staff to the talent, that goes all the way into, the office. It just gives it another different look for the fans, because all they see is what we see on TV, what they want you to see, right? But when you have, some of these, personal moments that some of the talent is going through, most of the time, right? You never think your superhero or your villain, they hurt. You never, because they're built up so strong on TV and so evil on TV, but when you see them, they're human beings. They have families. They have kids that hurt, when they see their mom or their dad hurt, So, at the end of the day, I'm a big fan of the Unreal WWE show on Netflix, and I continue to watch the episodes, and I look forward to them for more.
So in the 80s, this wouldn't have been a thing, right?
Absolutely not. Big time kayfabe. You could not even show nothing with cameras or nothing, video in the back, because everything was hush-hush. They had to keep that, that mystery. Is professional wrestling this, or is it that? Or, you know what I mean? And to be able to perfect the craft, I think it was very, very important. And, it still somewhat happens today. But, they kind of let the curtains down to be able to, kind of let the fans understand we're more than just professional wrestlers.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, in your if you were producing this show and this opportunity came to you in the 80s, would you have greenlight this?
100%.
Really?
100%. Because I want everybody to know what type of hurt that we go through. I want everybody to know my story. I want everybody to know, the 9 to 5 day, what it is for to be a WWE superstar, and to be able to balance out, being a family man, a husband, a brother, a sister, a sister, stuff like that. Because it just helps for me. It just, helps the fan know our stories, and understand that, who exactly we're, human beings. We chose this lifestyle. We chose this lifestyle, and we're committed to, every day the show must go on. But can you imagine, show must go on, and you have a bad vertebrae, but you don't want to tell the office because you don't want the office to find out, and now you're out of the program, which you waited so long to be able to get to that spot. But now you got to hide this pain here, and you got to just deal with it. You got to deal with it the best way you can, and you got to hide this so you don't get taken out of the storyline. So, the Unreal, stories with WWE, the docuseries that's out there, I encourage everybody to check it out. I don't feel it's scripted in any way. I feel that the cameras are rolling, and what you see is what you're going to get, And I don't think that, the wrestlers behind the scenes that are being filmed is exactly going to be that character of what people see them on TV. I think that's an opportunity for them to let the world know, what their thoughts are, what their day is, what they go through, how they're feeling sometimes. So, it's a beautiful thing to be able to each one teach one.
Thinking back in your career, who's one wrestler that would absolutely not would absolutely not support this show? Who is one wrestler that would absolutely just would not agree with this show being produced
Man,
because they wanted to protect kayfabe so much?
I would say my uncles, Alf and Zika. They were like hardcore. Jimmy Snuka, they were hardcore. Oh, that era.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That was kind of the Hulk Hogan era,
yeah,
right? Jimmy Snuka era. Before there was Hulk Hogan, there was Uncle Jimmy. One of the biggest superstars in Madison Square Garden. But yeah, Bruno Sammartino. I'm going way back as me as being a kid.
Yeah.
What I see in Andre the Giant. In that locker room, I was blessed to be in that locker room. Pulling my uncle's bags back in the day, and as a kid, you kind of see all this that's happening in front of you, and then when you see them out in the arena, they're like these mega gigantic heroes, gigantic villains and stuff. And then when you come back, you kind of, see them how they are backstage, It was always, even when people that work in the arena, if they had seen somebody try to come through the doors in the locker room, there was somebody always blocking them off. Or say he get in and then one of the talent will probably go in the stall. It was like that. They try to, cover everything up as much as possible, which we understand.
Yes, sir. Did your uncles ever kayfabe you?
They never really told me about that. You know what I mean? I kind of figured it out, for myself. But then, being at home with them and, listening to them talking to the talent that they just got through working with, and how much, they love each other. And, I kind of, we all kind of, even us and Yoko and Samu, Tatonga Kid, back in the day in Hampton, Connecticut, we all stayed in the bottom of the bungalow. The bottom of the basement. And when you're around, this is the time when my uncles was hot in Madison Square Garden. They were the top tag team heels, with Captain Lou Albano. And so we would be around. You can hear them, talking certain stuff about their, storyline, the inputs, the blah blah blah, and we were just, you know what I mean. So we kind of woke up to it, right? He would never really sit down until we got older and he seen we were serious about the business, and then that's when my uncles would kind of smarten us up on their own time. If we're riding with Uncle Sika or we're barbecuing with Uncle Sika, we'd ask something. And he was smart. He'd let us see the business in the business way, and understand, the part of being in the ring, like you really got to represent, you really got to perfect the craft, you got to stay in shape to learn how to breathe. And then when it came to Uncle Alpha, it was a lot of business. It taught us about the business, like how to negotiate, to know your worth, to be able to, anything and all thing about wrestling business, and that's how we were taught to be welders, and I've never held a damn weld in my life. But when I got there, I didn't understand what did me learning how to weld have to do with, professional wrestling, and he was teaching us how to, to build a ring. He wanted us to know about the ring, to feel it, that this thing is real. The ropes and everything. We can tear the ring out, down, put it back up in less than an hour, because it was like a puzzle. It was like Lego to us. We did it so damn much that we knew how to build. We build that thing up and down with our eyes closed. And so that was the training of back in the day, the generation of my generation of, myself, Reno, Yoko, TK, Big Sam, Alpha Jr., the list goes on. And then as we learned, you pass that down, to the next generation, which we see today.
Yes, sir. So since the last time we spoke, the pro wrestling world, we lost Hulk Hogan, the immortal Hulk Hogan. And that's somebody that you spent some time with. There's plenty of pictures online of you and all the boys in Hogan Dead Center. So once again, our condolences to the family and friends of Hulk Hogan. What a loss. We lost the Elvis of professional wrestling. Now, Big Keish, first of all, are there any personal memories you have regarding Hulk Hogan?
Well, Hulkster was close with my uncle Alpha and Zico back in the day. I believe when I first met him was down in Pensacola Beach, and that's where most of our family grew up, is down there in Pensacola Beach. And so, a lot of the memories was that, they used to have their, Dodge vans and stuff, cargo vans, and they customized it, put beds and, refrigerators. So they basically lived on the road. And so a lot of times was the Hulkster. They had a part of smarting him up, giving him some inputs, how the business work and so forth. And, he would come over to the house, when we were in Hampton, Connecticut or in Pennsylvania, Uncle Alpha's place. And, if he was around town, like doing appearance, he would stop by. So he had a big respect level with my uncles. And, as a kid, I worked with him one time during the Rikishi character. I believe it was in Tampa, Florida. And he wasn't too happy about taking a stink face. I think he was just coming back. And whatever the deal they had with Vince McMahon or back in the day, I was told to lay it on him,
Wow.
And so, of course, I did what I did. And then that belt, he had that, weightlifting belt.
Right,
Man, he took that belt off, man. He damn went to town on my back on that belt. You know what I mean? Of course, me coming from what family I come from, I was more scared of my uncles if I didn't give them a receipt. And so I took that belt back, went back and forth with it, and I kind of gave a receipt to him there. And then, he mentioned that I didn't respect the OG. I said, yeah, I do. But I was just taught to give a receipt if, we can work or whatever the case may be. But, that's my little encounter with him. All in all, he gave us all an opportunity and educated the world what exactly professional wrestling is. We can't take away what Hulk Hogan has done for the business. He definitely put the business on the map. Where back in the day was, people looked at wrestling just wrestling. But he was able to cross over into pop culture.
Yes, sir.
And he became a world icon, out throughout the whole world. And, through all his work and paving the way for a lot of the wrestlers, we're definitely we definitely got to respect that.
Yes, sir.
We got to respect that. And, the condolences are really, for the kids, his 2 kids and his family. It's not an easy thing when you lose a loved one. If it's Hulk Hogan or somebody else, like, we all know that death has no color, right? But we all bleed red. And our tears, it doesn't give a fuck who it is. Your tears are dropping, and it's the heartbreak that you're going to go through, knowing that you're never going to hear that person's voice. You're never going to see that person, good or bad. But at the end of the day, it's always this, lessons learned, right?
Yep.
You got to live knowing that tomorrow's never promised to nobody. And, we see it out there, a lot of drama going amongst the family, right? Whether it's true or not, right? But, I feel like, I've learned to forgive, learn to be able to sit down and talk things over. Because I definitely don't want, anybody in my family to go or I go, or anybody in the business that is close to me to go, knowing that there was that little,
Right.
that little drama between us.
Yeah.
And so, I want my circle to always know that I probably don't say it enough, but I love all of y'all. This thing here, what we do together is, I've always said, it's together. We ride together, we die together, and we're not ready to die. And that's why we are here, being able to put this platform together, to be able to continue to have fun, to continue to bring the stories and get my input from what I feel. I'm not a professional, but I've been there.
Yes, sir.
And so I feel like, my answers or my advice, carry weight. You know?
Absolutely.
You just don't get this just to get it.
Absolutely.
You know, this sucker is earned. So
Yes,
big
sir.
shout out to the WWE Universe. Big shout out to, all my hip hop fans that are out there. And, definitely big shout out to the fans of our podcast. And thank you, Joey. Thank Mike.
Thank you.
Thank my Oos right here, Frank Ray. The Oos is in the back scene. Thank you to Knox Pro.
Yes, sir.
Always giving us a place to be able to power up.
Before we wrap up, I want to talk about Knox Pro. But before we also wrap up, I wanted to ask you 5 rapid fire questions involving the immortal
But of
Hulk
course,
Hogan.
this seemed to be your thing now when we start to close up.
Yes,
I like
sir.
it though. I like it.
I do too. I think it's fun. Question number 1, Big Keish. Have you ever taken a leg drop from Hulk Hogan?
No.
Wow. Okay. Question number 2.
He went for it, but we teased it, and I rolled out.
Okay.
Yeah, psychology.
It came to you.
It'll come to you.
Question number 2. Favorite Hulk Hogan movie?
Ah, man. I think it was Fairy Tale. Was that, was he in a pink ballerina? Ballerina or something?
Mr. Nanny.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, that was a good movie. Question number 3.
No, I think I'm lying. It ain't that.
It has to be Rocky 3.
No, it is Rocky.
Of course, Thunder Lips.
It is Rocky.
In the flesh, baby.
Yeah.
Question number 3. What would you consider Hulk Hogan's greatest angle?
Oh, my goodness. I'd have to say NWO.
Absolutely.
When he switched heel.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Right?
sir. Question number 4.
We never seen that coming.
No.
Never. I don't think anybody's seen that coming.
And it was fresh, and it was enough to compete with
Right.
the WWE at that time. It was enough to kind of change.
See, that was great story.
Absolutely,
telling.
man! What a
That was
time to
great
be
angle.
alive. I know I was switching back and forth between Raw and WCW.
Yeah, wrestling, they got you.
Yes, 100%. Question number 4. Who do you consider Hulk Hogan's greatest rival?
The Rock.
Yes, sir. Question number 5. In one word, how would you describe Hulk Hogan?
Icon.
All right, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. So as you know, Knox Pro is running shows every month now here at the brand new domain in Sun Valley, California A. Now, Big Keish, we got Friday, August 22nd, we got the Effin' Warrior show, and Saturday night, August 23rd, we got Knox Experience.
Yeah.
Now, for fans out there watching the show, if they want to be a part of either one of those shows, where can they find tickets?
Well, all you have to do is real simple, like any other social media. Just go on Knox Pro, all their social media handle, or you can go on the website. The website is knokxpro.com. So make sure you stop by. I know we've been talking about the new talent and the new facility. Man, we can only talk so much about it, but you got to stop by. Come check it out. Go on the website. It's your one-stop shop, and come enjoy it. Come enjoy the bar. Come enjoy the food. Come enjoy the wrestling. Come enjoy the fans, and come enjoy a few drinks out here. So, at the end of the day, we're very happy to be able to showcase this new place to the fans out here in San Leandro and Sun Valley area.
Big Keish, thank you for your time. Do you have any
Yes,
final
sir.
words?
There's always a free to be kind to one another, and remember, always smarten up, and we out.